Hi everyone, Nancy here. It is May 13, 2020, and it is really nice outside. What time is it? I'm looking at my watch. It is 10:22 in the morning, and it's +7, so before I stepped out onto the balcony, I checked the temperature, and it's +7. And there isn't a cold chill. It's You can feel like a coldness, but it's not uncomfortably cold. Yeah, it's really nice, and the sun is shining really bright, and you can really feel it. I can feel it on my face. It's so hot, so it's nice, like a combination. But anyway, hold on. Let me see if I can adjust this. There we go. So then we can get a good shot of the people across the street. Yeah. So I'm hoping everybody's okay. I was going to film the other way, but the sun is like I was going to position the camera that way, but the thing is the sun shines from that side, and it's going to make the image look too dark, so that's why I didn't place it that way. Yeah. Anyway, hey guys, you know what? I got some news from a friend that made me very sad, but that at the same time I was happy also, right? So I will tell you what happened. So some of you know that I have a small ministry and I help people, and God will tell me which persons to help. And so I have this one friend that is in Uganda, and I have several, but the one friend that I'm talking about, he was a painter. Well, he is a painter by trade, and he was going through a really hard time because he wasn't getting any work. He was barely getting anybody hiring him, and things got so bad that he ended up losing his home, and he had to ask a church to allow him to live there, and they said yes. So thank God for that. Okay, so I've known my friend for about 6 years, and him and we don't really talk. Guys, when you have friendships where you're good friends with somebody, but you don't have a close contact. You don't have a close relationship. You're good friends, but it's just once in a while when you see them, or you might send them an email, or they will send you an email or call you and say, hey, what's going on with your life? What's going on? Are you okay? Like that. That's the kind of relationship that him and I have, right? So yeah, we barely talk, but we're still good friends. So in 2019, in January of 2019, no, it was February. Yes, in February of last year, 2019, I'm just waiting for those cars to pass by, because on my end it sounds very loud, and I don't want it to. It's disturbing for me. So in case if it's disturbing for you, that's why I kind of keep quiet. So in February of 2019, I was scrolling through my Facebook page. I have like everybody has a Facebook page, like a personal Facebook page, and some people have business ones. The one my personal Facebook page, I stopped being active on it. I'm not on there anymore. I will just go back once in a while to see if anybody sent me any messages. Yes, because I became very tired and exhausted of being on Facebook. So I just made an announcement to tell everybody I'm no longer going to be on Facebook, and that's about it. So yeah, like I said, I just go back once in a while to check my messages. So it was back in February. One day I went back on my personal Facebook page just to check my messages, and I received a message from the one friend that I was telling you about, and he was asking me, Nancy, will you please pray for me? I'm having a hard time. I don't have any work. Things are terrible. I need a place to stay. I'm at a church. Please pray for me. So yeah, I said, okay, yes, I will do that. So then, that's our conversation ended, and the conversation ended, right? So then I started praying for him, and then suddenly God planted it in my heart to send him some help. So I went to the post office and I sent my friend some help, and then I came back home with all the information, sent it off to my friend, and So the thing is with him, his internet connection's really bad. So sometimes I won't hear from him for maybe 3 or 4 days, but he does get back to me. It's just his internet connection. So I sent him the email with all the MoneyGram information, and then he I don't remember, but he got back to me around 2 or 3 days later, and he's like, "Oh, Nancy, thank you so much. I was not expecting this, but thank you so much. It's gonna help." And I said, "Yes, God told me to do this, and we have to listen when God tells us something." And he's like, "Yeah, well, thank you so much. I can't believe this. I had no idea this was gonna come to me, and I can't tell you how grateful I am." And I said, "No problem. We are there to help each other. It's our responsibility to help each other. When God tells us to do something, we have to do it." So I said, "Yeah, that's what we have to do." And my friend was like, "Oh, thank you so much," right? So then I told my friend, "You know what? You can probably start another business with this, because your current business of painting is not doing well." And he said, "Yes, I understand that. I know that those were my plans actually, but I don't want to rush into anything, because you see, I don't have any other source of funds, so I don't want to rush and spend this money and waste this money and find myself back in the same position." And I said, "No, I understand that. I know that you're going to take your time. I was just making a suggestion. Start another business." And then he said, "Yes, I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to take some time." And I said, "Okay, yeah, you take your time, and then when you come to a decision, for what business you're going to start doing, just let me know, because I'm kind of curious. I'm just curious, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry, I will let you know." And I said, "Okay." So then we ended the God bless you. This person over there sneezed. You'll see them coming. Yeah, the father sneezed. So then I said to my friend, "Okay, thanks for letting me know." So then one day my friend called. He sent me an email, but this was like 3 months later. Around 3 months later, my friend sends me an email. He's like, "Nancy, I finally figured out what I would like to start. It took me a long time, but as I mentioned before, I wanted to be very careful about how I would spend this money." And I said, "Yes, I understand." So he said, I decided to open up a pig farm." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's really good." And so then my friend continued to explain that he partnered up with a friend, and they put their money together, and they bought the materials to build the housing for the pigs. I guess it's called a pigsty. And yes, but the pigs, they bought the pigs, on their own. They would own their own pigs, but they shared the money that for the materials to build the shed for the pigs. And I said, "Oh, okay, that's really good." But guys, in my head, in the back of my head, the moment he said a partnership, I had a really bad feeling. I wish my friend had told me about this before. So, ow! I'm getting bit by like a mosquito or something, some kind of a bug on the back of my knee, of my left knee. You know the back of your leg, guys? Where that pocket of fat is? Right there. So anyway, yeah, so my friend told me that he partnered up with somebody, and right away, I felt I had I had a strong sense that this was a wrong thing, like the wrong decision to go with at this time. But I said to my friend, "Oh yeah, well, that's good, I'm saying that's good, but really, I was feeling really bad about it." So then anyway, my friend's like, "Yeah, so I partnered up with this female friend, and everything is really good, and we have everything all together, and we have everything all set up, and now that the farm is set to go." And so my friend was so excited, and he sent me pictures, and he sent me pictures of him at a site where he was buying some bricks and some other materials to make the little house for the pigs, right? And so then the next few pictures were of him with the pigs surrounded in the little shed. Like he bought the wood, and and he made the shed and everything, and he was in there with the pigs, and he was so happy. So I was happy for him, right? Yeah, so that's really good. So I said, oh, I'm so happy for you. You have an up and running, running an operating business again, and so that's good. I'm very happy for you. So yeah. So then I told my friend, I'm gonna continue to pray for you, okay, so that things will get better, and you will continue to improve in your situation, and things like that. And he said, thank you so much, Nancy, because I'm really gonna need that. And I said, no problem, okay. So then we ended the conversation. So this was, like I said, 3 months. Like I sent him the help in February of 2019. 3 months later, he contacts me to tell me that he started the business, with his friend. And so that was 3 months later. So that's January, February, March, April. Okay, so that was in May, right? That was in May. And then, how I said in the beginning, sometimes you have friends that you don't have a very frequent chatting conversation with them. So this is the kind of friend that I have, that we are to each other. So from May of 2019, after we finished that last conversation where he told me about the business that he got in, we ended the conversation, and then months later, and then today is May 13, 2020. I have an update about my friend. So, but first let me tell you that, I hadn't spoken to my friend from the time that last time in May when he was telling me about the new business that he started. So then, like I said, now we're in May, but in March, April, in March, beginning from March, for some reason, I started to get a picture of my friend in my head. His picture kept coming in my head, and I had no idea why, but his picture just kept coming in my head. But then I began to wonder, what's going on with him, that his picture keeps coming in my head. So like God was putting a picture of him in my head. And I'm like, Lord, I'm hoping he's okay. Hope everything's okay with him. Yeah, so I didn't send him any message, and he didn't send me any message, but I was just wondering, why do I keep getting my friend's picture in my head? So it started in March of this year, 2020, and it continued in April, and then suddenly, when was it? In April. And then at the end of April, I continued getting pictures of my friend. At the end of April, I think the last week of April, my friend sends me an email. He's like, hey, Nance, what's up? Are you okay? Is everything all right over there? Are you okay? I'm hoping you're okay. So he didn't say anything more. I'm just guessing that he must have sent me this message because of what's going on with the coronavirus. And there are lockdowns all over the place, and even in Uganda and all that. So I sent my friend an email right away, and I said, yes, I'm okay over here. Everybody's fine. My family's fine. My friends are fine. We are all fine over here. I'm hoping you are well. Right? So again, this was sometime at the end of April. Yes, it was at the end of April that he sent me a message asking me how I was, and then I replied back. And because, like I said earlier also, because his internet connection is always really bad, it takes him between 2 and 3, even up to 4 days to respond back. So I didn't expect for him to respond back to me right away. Right? So, yes. So when I sent him the email right away, I was, just decided I had to wait because his internet connection is not good. But then, around the 5th day, I got really worried because he didn't respond back. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. Oh, I forgot to mention, right after my friend sent me a message. Oops, sorry. Guys, sometimes it doesn't always show, but I just tapped the camera by accident. And so if it kind of shook, I'm sorry about that. But it doesn't always show up in the film, so that's good. But anyway, so right after my friend sent me the message, I did wait, And it was sometime between 3 and 5 days that God told me, just suddenly God told me, Nancy, send him another help. So I said, okay, Lord. So I went to the post office and I sent him another help. And then I came back home, and so this was like around 3 or 4 days after my friend sent me the message. I sent him the money. So then like when I came home after I sent him the money, I sent him all of the MoneyGram information he would be needing, in order to have the funds released to him. Because if you don't have the right information, they're not going to give you the funds. So then on the 5th day, I got really worried, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it is his internet. So then another week went by, and I'm like, okay, this time I'm really worried. I sent my friend another message, and I said, you know what? I know that your internet is really, really poor, but I just wanted to let you know that I did send you another help, and the information is in the first email. So if you can please let me know as soon as you get this email that you have, you at least know that you've received about the information. Nothing. Okay, so I didn't get any message or anything like that. So now I was really worried. So what I did was I went on the MoneyGram website to check if my friend had gone to pick up the money, and based on the information on the site, my friend had not picked it up. The money was still there. It was still available for him to pick it up. So I said, well, this means that he hasn't read my emails, and his internet is really down, and he's not been able to access his email address. So I have, like I mentioned earlier, I have a few other friends from Uganda. So I contacted one friend that I'm really close with, and I asked my friend, I told my friend the situation, and I said, can you please try and track him down? Because they live in the same city. So, and he said, don't worry, I think I can help you with this. So long story short, it took only one day for my friend to track down my other friend whom I sent the money to. And so then my friend sends me an email, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Nancy. What happened is I decided to take a break from being on my Yahoo account. And I'm like, oh, I see. The thing is, I was worried because you had sent me an email asking me how I was. So I replied back to you. And then, I replied back to you, and then I sent you MoneyGram information, and you still didn't answer, so I was really worried. And he's like, oh, no, everything is fine. I just decided to just take a break from my email. So, yeah, thank God for that. So the way my friend got a hold of the friend that I had contacted to help me with my friend, the way he got a hold of my friend was through his Facebook account. And the thing is, I'm connected to the friend that I was trying to get a hold of for the money. I'm connected to him also on Facebook. But because I assumed that his internet was terrible, I didn't bother going to his Facebook account, right? And anyway, so my friend, the one who helped me track him down, he found his phone number on my friend's Facebook page, and he texted him, and he gave him some information, and then that's how we got connected again. So yeah, so that was a long conversation, a long explanation. And so guys, you know what I'm trying to get at is something, the not so nice thing that happened to him. Like in the beginning, I mentioned something not so good happened to my friend, the one that I sent the help to, but then because of God, he turned things around for him. So my friend gave me an update. I asked my friend what's going on with the pig farm, how is it going? And he said, well, Nancy, what happened was the friend that he partnered up with sold all of his pigs, took the money, didn't give him his share, and she left and never came back. And I said, wow, why? What happened? And he said, well, one day I just came home. Oh, let me backtrack a little bit. So I did tell you that my friend is a painter by trade, and he couldn't find a job in painting. So he told me that he was able to find another job working for a solar energy company. They have them traveling to different remote places, searching for people who need solar energy and things like that. So it's a really big company, and they they travel by boat and all that. So anyway, so my friend said one day after he came home from a shift, he traveled over to the area where they have the shed for the pigs, and he discovered that the pigs, all of them, his pigs and the girl's pigs, were gone. So he called her and he asked her what happened, and she told him that she she did not want to continue on in the business partnership with him because she was tired of being the sole provider of the food for the pigs, because she had a full-time job and he wasn't bringing in any money because he didn't have a job. All he had was the capital to start the business, and as far as everything, like building the shed, providing the land, and all the tools, like he did everything. He did everything. All she did was bought the pigs, and of course she also provided money to help to buy the materials to build a shed. But it was still a rotten thing for this person to do to my friend, right? So I told my friend, this is a horrible situation. It's really bad. So my friend said, I know, Nancy, I know it's a hurtful thing, but I asked her if she would still be willing to come back. He said, Nancy, I told her that I forgave her for what she had done, and if she would still be willing to come back to continue on with the business. And my friend said that she said, no, she will not do that. She will never come back. And he never saw her again, right? So I told my friend, it's the best thing that could have happened here was that she did not come back because of the way she betrayed you, right? So that's what I told my friend, So my friend was also, even though his friend was the sole, like the majority of the financial provider for the food for the pigs, he would at times, whenever he would get any little bit of money, he would buy food for the pigs. And I know that's not a lot, but the thing is, he was trying, and he's an honest person, And so I told my friend, it is a horrible situation, but you know what? Look at how God has helped you. No wonder why God told me to send you some help, because he saw the trouble that was going to come and that you would end up in. So now you don't have to worry about that. You can continue on with the pig business, or maybe you can start something else. And he said, I know, Nancy, I could do that. The money's really going to help. It's going to help a lot. And I said, good for you. So also in his email, my friend said that, like, he was really pained, guys. He was pained. Like, he had a lot of pain, because he says that he understands that although he was not the one that was the sole provider, like the majority of the financial provider for the food for the pigs, he says that he's hurt because the work that he did was not considered by the friend that betrayed him, because he was the one that built the shed. She didn't do anything. He built the shed. He went to go and get the materials. I saw the photos, guys. He was in this place where he went to. It's like it's a place where you go and get a lot of bricks, and there's a lot of soil, so it's a messy job. He went to do all of that, and he was the one that was always going to travel to make sure that the pigs were okay, they were being taken care of. All she did was, like I said, she paid for a portion to have the sheds built, and she paid for the majority of the food, but he was doing all the laborious work. So that counted for something. So it's such a horrible thing, guys, when you're betrayed by another person just because they think that you're not pulling your weight. They think that you're not doing enough. That's disgusting. And so I told my friend, when he first told me that he had gotten into a partnership, I explained it to him that I had a really bad feeling about this, but I didn't say anything because I knew, like in my heart, I knew that he wasn't going to listen, right? So I didn't tell him that. I'm telling you this. Like I told my friend that I knew, that what this business partnership that you told me you got into was not going to fare well. I knew it was going to end up bad, but I didn't say anything. But it's still not your fault, because your intentions were completely honest, but not your friends. I said your friend only went into the business partnership with you to benefit herself. She had no intentions of showing you any compassion or any compassion, any kindness, no mercy for the person that she was going to be starting a partnership with. She was only in it for herself, not for you, right? So I also gave my friend a warning. I said, okay, look, God is going to be prospering you. I can see this. It's coming. So what's going to happen is this friend is going to come looking for you. She's going to reappear. And when she does, you need to be strong and tell her no, because her intentions will be to find a way to try and profit from you, trying to benefit from you in some way, only because now you are a wealthy person. So when she comes into your life, when she does disappear, please make sure that you make it clear to her you have no intentions of, partnering up with her again, because she's going to harm you again. Okay? And so then I also told my friend, I said, look, the next time you start your business, make sure that you are the sole owner of a business. Never, ever again partner up with anybody, not even someone in your family or relatives. Nobody. It must only belong to you, in order that you not find yourself in another ugly situation where, like the one where your friend just betrayed you. Anytime you think about creating a business, make sure that it only belongs to you. So I explained it to my friend that when I first started my business, I never had any intentions of partnering up with anybody. The idea of sharing my business with somebody else, I hated that idea. I want to own something that's my own. I want to be the only owner of my business, and it has nothing to do with greed. It has to do with protecting myself from awful things that sometimes do take place with business partnerships. Relationships break up, and then there's a big fight over who owns what percentage, and then there's a court. No, you don't want that. You want to own your own things so that you don't have to deal with something like that possibly happening to your business down the road. Guys, my camera stops recording in every 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop it here, and I will be right back.